Authorities have made an arrest in connection with the stabbing of a woman and teen on Thursday. And motorists in Othello are taken by surprise by a seemingly random act of violence on the highway. And we have a few showers and windy conditions this morning, but warm temperatures are on the way. Jason has your first alert weather forecast.
From Camp KVUE Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jill Sperling. Let's go to Jason Valentine now with a first look at weather.
Thank you so much and good Monday morning, everyone. And folks, we're looking at a pretty nice day today, though we have a little bit of shower activity and winds for some of our areas. Now, not for Yakima. You do have those winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour, but as we move along in our morning, we are going to be seeing nicer conditions. And again, we're going to be seeing highs in the lower 60s today for Yakima. In the Tri-Cities area, we're up to the mid 60s. We're still about 5 or so degrees off of our average for this time of year, but folks, things are going to be getting much nicer. And in Walla Walla, we do have off and on showers today, a little bit more cloud coverage as well, but I'm thinking by about 4 o'clock it should be about done. But folks, get ready for nicer conditions as we move along in our week. It is going to be gorgeous. So again, quick AM showers, maybe persisting a little bit along the blues. We have that breezy morning, but hot temperatures soon. So if you need a little bit of a lift for your Monday morning, we do have that to look forward to. And I'm talking possibly 80s on the way. That's in my full forecast coming up. But for right now, I'm going to send it back to Jill.
Officers with the Yakima Police Department have a suspect in custody for the murder of a 26-year-old man. Authorities responded to a report of an assault at an apartment in the 100 block of North 9th Street. When officers arrived, they located an unresponsive man and tried to revive him, but they were unable, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Officers reached out to the 3 females who left the scene and called 911, and based on information gathered by investigators, arrested a 24-year-old woman on charges of second-degree murder and second-degree assault. Richland authorities are investigating a shooting that happened Friday evening. According to Richland police, reports came in around 8:45 that a man had been shot in the Apollo Boulevard and Mercury area. Authorities arrived and shut down the area, discovering the 27-year-old man had been taken to the hospital. They believe he will recover. Investigators managed to identify a suspect who was arrested early Saturday morning. Authorities believe the shooting was not a random act and that the 2 people knew each other. The Adams County Sheriff's Office is investigating reports of a seemingly random attack on a motorist outside of Othello. Authorities say 2 motorists were driving on Highway 26 towards Royal City on Wednesday when 2 people suddenly jumped out of a ditch as one was driving by and 2 large objects came flying towards the vehicle. The objects were revealed to be 2 large rocks, and one went through the windshield and struck the driver. Authorities say the driver suffered minor injuries but is expected to be okay. Investigators are asking anyone with information to contact the Sheriff's Office at the number on the screen. We have an update on a stabbing investigation in Kennewick. Police have now arrested a teen girl for first-degree assault. Investigators say a 14-year-old was fighting with someone she knew around 3:30 Thursday morning when an adult woman tried to step in. Police say they were both stabbed multiple times. Both had to be taken to the hospital, but they are expected to survive. Within 24 hours, police arrested another teenage girl at a home in Pasco. A new report from the National Insurance Crime Bureau says in 2022, Washington had the 2nd highest rate increase of car thefts in the entire country. Washington recorded around 11,000 more thefts in 2022 compared to 2021. That's a 31% increase, second only to Illinois, which saw a 35% increase. The National Insurance Crime Bureau estimates more than 1 million vehicles were stolen last year. The last time the United States saw numbers like that was in 2008. What we've heard from law enforcement is that Washington state law emboldened criminals by putting limits on when police can chase someone in a car, regardless of whether it's stolen. A new proposal that would loosen those restrictions has passed the state legislature and is now waiting for Governor Inslee's review. If he signs the bill, it would take effect immediately. Senate Bill 5536 is a continuing response to the Blake decision, where the Washington Supreme Court ruled that the former drug possession law was unconstitutional. 5536 is designed to strike a balance between addressing drug crimes and making sure that people who are dealing with addiction or mental health disorders can get help. Different versions of the bill have passed the State House and Senate. Lawmakers tried to agree on one final version. The letter sent to state legislators says that mayors are concerned that the House version of the bill lacks adequate accountability to make sure someone dealing with addiction gets help. They're also concerned that the proposal would make it so that cities cannot ban people from using drugs in public. Lawmakers need to pass something because the current stopgap measure is set to expire in July of this year. But time has run out as the legislative session ended yesterday and the bill failed final passage by a vote of 43 to 55. Flames sparked in a home on North Yakima River Road in West Richland. The home had been undergoing renovation and no one was home at the time of the fire. Multiple agencies responded. Authorities say the wind and water supply issues made fighting the fire even harder. No word on how it started. A crew will now demolish what remains of the home. When we come back, Jason Valentine will return with another look at weather, his extended forecast coming up. And the Supreme Court has announced its ruling on the availability of the abortion drug mifepristone. That's next on Good Morning Northwest.
Get a great deal and the best prices of the year. Now at Overturf Kia, you'll find a great selection of new vehicles in stock now. A 2023 Kia Soul LX with automatic transmission starts at just $19,999. Plus, get interest rates as low as 2.9%. Take delivery today or reserve a car that's on its way. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
This is how legends are made.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups or get $2,250 total cash allowance on a 2023 Silverado with a turbo high output engine. See your community Chevy dealers.
Make your first move with battery power made by Steel. Right now, save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer. Real Steel. Find yours.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During our spring tire sale, we watch out for your wallet too. Save up to $175 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires.
Your roof protects your home and family every day. Shouldn't it be the best roof possible? With Air Roofing, a family-owned business in Prosser, you'll see why our customer reviews speak for themselves. No job too small, big enough to take care of your roofing needs. Air Roofing, a company built on quality and reputation.
Ensuring your loved ones are taken care of is so important, but finding the time to help can be challenging. That's where Visiting Angels comes in. Our compassionate caregivers and Visiting Angels team can manage the day-to-day in-home assistance your loved ones need. We offer award-winning care on your terms. Nationally known, locally owned. Call us today at 509-582-7800 for a free consultation or visit us online at visitingangels.com/Kennewick.
We love our pets, but we don't always love their hair, which is why we made Bounce Pet Hair and Lint Guard. With 3 times the pet hair fighting ingredients, just 1 sheet helps remove pet hair from your clothes. Looking good starts in the dryer with Bounce Pet.
Portion of Cap KVU sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Welcome back. In your health headlines this morning, the Supreme Court has allowed an abortion pill to remain widely available on the market as appeals play out in lower courts. The court blocked a decision by a Texas-based district judge from earlier this month that had invalidated the FDA's approval of mifepristone. It also would have prevented patients from receiving the pill through the mail. The drug has been on the market for more than 20 years and has been shown to be safer than common medicines like penicillin. Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito publicly dissented. President Biden responded to Friday's ruling, writing that the original ruling blocking the approval of the drug, quote, would have undermined FDA's medical judgment and put women's health at risk. He also pledged that his administration will continue to fight the issue in the courts and that he stands by the FDA's approval of mifepristone. A federal appeals court has already announced a briefing schedule with oral arguments to be heard next month. The outbreak of COVID-19 presented many dangers for children, and a new study suggests increased illicit substance ingestions were among them. According to the study published Friday in JAMA Network Open, in the first month of the pandemic in 2020, there was a 25% increase in overall ingestions among children under 6 years old in the United States. The study says those numbers grew by 1.8% more per month than they did before the pandemic. The study looked at data from nearly 8,000 children under age 6 who were treated for ingestion of amphetamines, benzodiazepines, cannabis, cocaine, ethanol, and opioids across 46 children's hospitals. The study stressed a need to identify interventions around parental mental health, offer substance treatment services, provide accessible childcare, and educate adults about storing substances. Coming up, people all over the country celebrated Earth Day over the weekend, and members of the Yakima Nation were no exception. But for some, it meant a lot more than just picking up trash. And Jason Valentine will return with a look at your First Alert forecast.
Shelter. Out here, it's the most important thing. But the good thing is, my Ford F-150 provides enough power to keep working.
Get a great deal on an F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
At Bruce Heating & Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating & Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $2,100 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating & Air.
Whether you're looking for your next houseplant, getting those spring flowers in the ground, or planting your dream garden landscape, Queensgate Gardens is the place to go. Queensgate Gardens in Richland. Let's grow together.
At the Blue Mountain Station in Dayton, Washington, we invest in community. Our partners include Sweet Cheeks Bake Shop, Cedar Rain Spirits, Onyx Farms, Ray's Roast, Red Band Cellars, Bard & Bead Meadery, and the Co-op and Commercial Kitchen. We invite you to explore Dayton today.
Our phones keep us constantly connected.
Please switch to airplane mode.
But what if they had a mode to help us actually connect? Introducing Us Mode, a mode that makes our phones less distracting, so we can focus on quality time. So the notifications we get are the ones that matter. So we're never distracted from what's most important. Visit US Cellular in-store or online to set up Us Mode for free, even if you're not a customer. US Cellular, built for us.
This is a town called Basic. It's pretty hard to stand out around here. But if you pull up in a 2023 Nissan Rogue, you'll stand out before your feet even hit the pavement.
Can you make mine look like that?
Anything but basic. The 2023 Nissan Rogue. Get a low $399 per month lease on Rogue or get 0% financing for 36 months on select models.
10 years from today, Lisa Schneider will become the undisputed leader of a ginormous pack of dogs. Rescue dogs, to be exact. A second act made possible by the career reskilling courses Lisa's already taking now with AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does, so she can finally run with the big dogs and the small dogs who just think they're big dogs. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
That sound. Wolves. Boy, they sound hungry.
Load up, wolves!
Good thing this Ford Explorer has Sync 3 technology. Keeps them entertained on the way to dinner.
Get a great deal on an Explorer, only at your local Ford dealer.
The best way to end your day.
That is good TV.
Friends, tonight at 11:05.
Now, Cap KVU First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Monday morning, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and a nice morning so far. So we do have some quick AM showers to talk about. We do have a breezy morning between 10, 15 mile per hour for the most part, but those are going to slow down as the day goes on. But I was talking about it earlier. Hot temperatures are on the way, something to definitely look forward to. So let's take a look at our futurecast. And as we move along in our morning hours, we're going to see the biggest conglomeration right around 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, Pendleton areas. You should be left out of it in Ellensburg and Yakima. And then it's just a bit of residual showers going on. Again, Walla Walla, Tri-Cities. That'll move on by the time we get to our evening hours, but much nicer conditions overnight and into our Tuesday and our Wednesday. My goodness, we have a pretty darn nice week ahead. And yes, warmer temperatures are on the way. Finally, very warm this morning, much warmer than it was pretty much all of last week. We do expect to see these warm conditions continuing. Again, for just last week we had those freeze warnings. Well, nothing like that. And as we move along in our week, even today we're below our average. Add it on Tuesday, tomorrow. Then we're going to warm up to those mid to lower 80s as we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We do expect quite a bit of a drop off. But this is that heat spike we've been waiting for, and it's been taking some time to get here. So warmer temperatures, yes, 80s. And our area does this. It goes from the 60s to the 80s. There's no 70s, so that happens quite often. So winds right now, we are seeing some push, and we do expect that to continue for the next couple of hours, but do get ready for slower winds by the time we get to our afternoon, and slower winds into Wednesday, and then just a little bit of windy conditions right around 10 miles per hour as we head into our weekend. So folks, we are looking at much nicer conditions. And again, last week we saw some wind spikes, but really this morning is the most wind we're going to be seeing pretty much for your work week into our next week. So our highs today, we are in those mid to lower 60s for Yakima, 56 for Ellensburg. Again, we're about 5 degrees off our average for this time of year. As we move into the Tri-Cities and the Mid-Columbia, mid to lower 60s, still staying pretty darn chilly. And in the Blue Mountain region, even 58 for Pendleton, 60 degrees for Walla Walla. So your temperatures this morning really aren't going to be increasing too much for our daytime highs. But look at these highs as we move along. Plenty of sunshine is expected. So today, 61, up to 70 tomorrow. Beautiful Tuesdays on the way. Upper 70s by the time we get to Wednesday into Friday, and yes, even 81 by Saturday. So my goodness, folks, we are looking at beautiful conditions. Overnight lows, again, don't forget, Yakima had a freeze warning last week for Tuesday into Thursday. We are looking at much warmer conditions overnight as well. Folks, a sparkler of a week is on the way. In the Tri-Cities area, up to the upper 70s by Wednesday and Thursday, and then mid to lower 80s with abundant sunshine for your weekend and your Friday. So folks, the warmer conditions we've been waiting for all spring are finally on the way, especially as we get to our weekend. Today, though, we're seeing some morning showers, some morning wind, and again, cooler than average temperatures, but that all switches on a dime as we move into the rest of our work week.
More than 100 people from Yakima Nation and Yakima Chief Hops worked together in honor of Earth Day to clean up an area near the Yakima River in Wapato. But Cap KVU's Emily Goodell tells us for many it was a lot more than just picking up garbage.
This site is known as Awatam.
Some call it Parker Dam.
All of our people lived along this corridor, and this was one of the sites where they held traditional ceremonies.
But now, it's become a dumping ground.
Frequented by a number of people who thought it was okay to dump their garbage and trash and tires and appliances and not respecting what this place represented. Our focus today is to help clean that up and help restore this area to what it once was.
I'm out here feeding my spirit.
Doing more than just taking out the trash.
A lot of them didn't know that they were on the homelands of the Yakima people. They didn't realize the history because it's not taught in schools.
like the cultural significance of Pacific lamprey.
They're good medicine. They're known as first foods, so even like during ceremony, they are served first. So big cultural significance for these fish.
But the population is threatened by modern dams.
Lamprey deserve life, not death.
Fish ladders help salmon because they can jump, but lamprey use their mouths to climb, making it hard to migrate.
But now we're releasing hundreds of fish throughout Washington. Today we're releasing 80 alone just right here.
Words can't express seeing all of these people here. I mean, just citizens, people of our communities coming out, getting together, wanting to help. It's just amazing.
My biggest hope is that this will inspire other people to get involved. It would be very easy for any of these people just to go about their daily routine and not really think about their communities or their environment. So hopefully some people see this and we attract more people to get involved, to get active, to get engaged with their neighbors and do good things in this beautiful valley.
In Wapato, Emily Goodell, Cap KVUE, Local News.
Officials say they're hoping people will look at all the work done and choose to make better decisions about where they dispose of garbage moving forward. Well, people celebrated Earth Day across the United States on Saturday by planting trees. Advocates say in addition to taking carbon dioxide out of the air and giving back oxygen that we need to breathe, trees can help ease the impact of extreme heat and flooding too. Despite that, the Washington State Commissioner of Public Lands says even the evergreen state has fallen short on investing in city trees.
Across the board, in every state and in our state, we have underinvested in our urban tree canopy. We've underinvested at the federal level, we've underinvested at the state level, and obviously we've also underinvested at the local level.
The Biden administration has set aside $1.5 billion from the Inflation Reduction Act to fund tree planting projects over the next decade. The 60th annual Parade of Gems took place over the weekend, hosted by the Yakima Rock and Mineral Club at State Fair Park. There were more than 40 displays, including fluorescent rocks and Herkimer diamonds on loan from New York. There were demonstrations of wire wrapping, faceting stones, and a special way to make arrowheads, and plenty of activities for kids like panning for gold and making rock animals. When we return on Good Morning Northwest, the third time was the charm for one Maryland man as he managed to take home a $50,000 lottery prize for the third time in less than a year.
100% ribeye beef in a burger. Yep, 100% ribeye beef in a burger. My Ribeye Steakhouse burgers, all the flavor of a juicy ribeye steak in a burger. Did I mention they're made with 100% ribeye beef?
Time for a new roof? Let M&M Roofing replace it with the product so good you'll never have to replace it again. All roofs come with the limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again.
With the rain and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Call today to receive 0% financing on approved credit.
So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
If you're injured on the job, you need an experienced workers' compensation attorney.
Workers' compensation is complex. It has its own laws, doctors, courts, and judges.
For years as an assistant attorney general, I represented labor and industries. Now, I fight for injured workers.
If you can't work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call toll-free 1-888-665-8630, Bothwell and Hamill.
At West Richland Family Dental and Prime Dental Pasco, we are open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m., Monday through Friday, plus Saturdays for when the week gets to be too full. West Richland Family Dental and Prime Dental Pasco, stunning smiles for the whole family.
Did you know the most common mosquito in our area can travel 5 to 8 miles? Here at Benton County Mosquito Control, our objective is to provide effective mosquito control for your home, neighborhood, and community. Our friendly mosquito control technicians use mosquito population monitoring, educational programming, and a variety of field techniques to reduce mosquitoes in your area. Reduce areas of standing water around your home to help control mosquitoes. For more help, give us a call or visit us online at www.mosquitocontrol.org. Benton County Mosquito Control, where your comfort and health become a priority.
Homeowners, Washington is moving to renewable power. Consider an investment in green energy. Rooftop solar with Solar Power Northwest, a true one-stop shop. Solar Power Northwest, a better way to solar.
At Honda, we offer complimentary maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles. Just enjoy the ride, knowing we cover routine items like oil changes, tire rotations, and multi-point inspections. Honda Service Pass, available to purchasers of all 2023 Honda vehicles. Get yours today.
My legendary mozzarella sticks are back, and they come with, wait for it, keep waiting, marinara sauce. You asked for it, you got it. You can thank me later. Get them as part of my mini munchies for just $3.50.
Portion of Cap KVU sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Time right now is 5:25. Welcome back. A Maryland man has found his lucky numbers. According to the Maryland Lottery, a 52-year-old anonymous player from Charles County has won his third $50,000 prize in 11 months. His winnings came from the Pick 5 game, and he played the same winning numbers each time, 4, 8, 5, 4, 8. The man says he'll use his latest winnings to take his wife on a vacation. He also intends to keep playing the lottery. Very lucky man indeed. Well, Jason returns in just a few minutes with a look at your First Alert weather forecast. That's coming up. Also coming up on Good Morning Northwest, with the debt limit looming, Speaker McCarthy has promised progress on the government debt limit bill. And more gun violence erupted across the nation over the weekend, with shootings in Texas and Washington, D.C.
In today's Tech Bites, Twitter's U-turn on those blue check marks. They were done away with last week. Users were told to get their verified check mark back, they needed to pay $8 a month. Not many did, but recently the check marks were reinstated on many celebrity accounts, including for some who have passed away. Apple is said to be planning a journaling app for iPhones, according to the Wall Street Journal. The feature would allow users to log their daily thoughts and activities as well as their feelings. Apple's offering would compete with other journaling apps such as Day One. WhatsApp is now letting you save disappearing messages, but the sender gets the final say. A new option called Keep the Chat allows users to stop a message from vanishing by long pressing on it. However, the person who sent the message will be notified and have the power to decide if it stays or goes away. A good feature for people who share too many memes on WhatsApp. Time to GIF it a rest. Those are your Tech Bites.
When it comes to your hair, ingredients matter. That's why Herbal Essences is packed with naturally derived plant ingredients you love. And none of the stuff you don't. Our sulfate-free collections smell incredible. And leave your hair touchably soft and smooth. Herbal Essences.
Introducing Astepro Allergy. Now available without a prescription, Astepro is the first and only 24-hour steroid-free spray. While Flonase takes hours, Astepro starts working in 30 minutes. So you can Astepro and go.
Your shipping manager left to find themselves, leaving you lost. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
With the debt limit looming, politicians are pointing fingers at just what is holding up the process. More gun violence in Texas and D.C. over the weekend, leaving more than 15 people injured. And we have a few showers and windy conditions this morning, but warmer temperatures are on the way. Jason has your First Alert weather forecast coming up.
From Cap KVU Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jill Sperling. Let's go to Jason Valentine now with a first look at weather.
Thank you so much and good Monday morning, everyone. And folks, we're looking at a pretty nice day today, though we have a little bit of shower activity and winds for some of our areas. Now, not for Yakima. You do have those winds around 10 to 15 mile per hour, but as we move along in our morning, we are going to be seeing nicer conditions. And again, we're going to be seeing highs in the lower 60s today for Yakima. In the Tri-Cities area, we're up to the mid 60s. We're still about 5 or so degrees off of our average for this time of year, but folks, things are going to be getting much nicer. And in Walla Walla, we do have off and on showers today, a little bit more cloud coverage as well, but I'm thinking by about 4 o'clock it should be about done. But folks, get ready for nicer conditions as we move along in our week. It is going to be gorgeous. So again, quick AM showers, maybe persisting a little bit along the blues. We have that breezy morning, but hot temperatures soon. So if you need a little bit of a lift for your Monday morning, we do have that to look forward to. And I'm talking possibly 80s on the way. That's in my full forecast coming up. But for right now, I'm going to send it back to Jill.
Thank you, Jason. The U.S. hit its debt ceiling in January, and since then, the Treasury Department has been keeping the nation afloat financially. However, the deadline for a default is inching closer, and President Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy still aren't seeing eye to eye on the matter. John Lawrence reports.
Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he has enough support to get his debt limit legislation through the expected House vote this week.
We do have a very small majority, only 5 seats, one of the smallest we've ever had. But I cannot imagine someone in our conference that would want to go along with Biden's reckless spending.
McCarthy's bill includes a $1.5 trillion hike to the debt ceiling, but with cuts to domestic spending programs.
Raising the debt ceiling is a separate discussion from spending. It is making sure that we pay our bills. We did it 3 times during the Trump administration, and both President Trump and President Reagan said you should not play games with raising the debt ceiling, honoring our bills. It hurts us internationally with where we are now.
President Joe Biden says he will only agree to a cut-free proposal and blasted McCarthy's bill, saying it would, quote, make it easier for the wealthy to cheat on taxes.
If you go forward as McCarthy wants, what will happen? You will literally see interest rates go up for mortgages, for loans. You're going to see the stock market plummet again.
McCarthy tweeted that he invites the president, quote, to get serious and join Republicans at the table.
The idea that he won't even negotiate for more than 80 days, he is now putting the country in default. We're the only ones being responsible and sensible about this.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Moody's Analytics says a debt ceiling breach could cost the U.S. millions of jobs and do long-term damage to the economy. American diplomats and family members are now safely on their way out of Sudan via U.S. military planes. President Biden confirmed the evacuation late Saturday night through a statement. In addition, the U.S. Embassy in Khartoum is now closed, officials tell CNN. The decision to evacuate American personnel comes as fighting between rival military factions in Sudan has ramped up over the past week, with hundreds dead and thousands wounded. In recent days, additional U.S. military support was deployed near Sudan in preparations for a potential evacuation of the embassy. One of the warring factions, the Sudanese Armed Forces, said in a statement its leader agreed to help facilitate the safe evacuation of foreign citizens. More gun violence is rattling multiple communities across the U.S. this weekend. In Texas, at least 9 teens are recovering following a shooting at an after-prom party. In Washington, D.C., at least 8 people, including a 12-year-old, were injured in back-to-back shootings Friday night. The latest violence comes as 3 Tennessee lawmakers who've been in the headlines get set to meet with President Joe Biden to discuss the future of gun reform. Shelley Malashi has the latest.
In Washington, D.C., police are searching for suspects in back-to-back shootings Friday night that left 8 people wounded, including a 12-year-old girl.
We're looking for a black sedan, possibly a Mercedes, who witnesses say drove through the block and indiscriminately fired upon individuals here in LeBron.
In Texas, authorities are investigating a shooting north of the town of Jasper that sent at least 9 teens to the hospital Sunday morning. It happened just after midnight at a home during an after-prom party. According to police, the victims range in age from 15 to 19 years old. The investigation there is ongoing. And on Monday, the so-called Tennessee Three, the lawmakers who drew national attention after protesting for stricter gun laws in the wake of Nashville's deadly school shooting last month, are set to meet with President Biden to talk about the gun crisis in America.
I think that we need emergency response because we're facing a crisis situation, and that in states like ours, we need help from our national leaders.
It is also to think about, beyond executive orders, what other authority exists within departments and agencies that the president is ultimately responsible for.
According to a recent survey by the Kaiser Family Foundation, worry and fear about gun violence are widespread in the United States, adding more than 1 in 5 adults has had a family member killed by a gun, including suicide. I'm Shelley Malashi reporting.
There have been more mass shootings than days so far this year, and more shootings than at this point in any year since at least 2013. Coming up after the break, Jason Valentine will join us with your First Alert forecast, getting you ready for the work week ahead. And department store Bed Bath & Beyond is closing after the company files for bankruptcy.
GMA This Week is just wow with Yara Shahidi, Judy Blume, Jude Law and Jim Gaffigan, Lizzie Kaplan and Amanda Peet, and Dolly Parton live.
It's so good.
Plus, a mystery guest you're going to want to see this week on Good Morning America.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with the limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again.
With the rain and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Call today to receive 0% financing on approved credit.
So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
I really started looking around thinking, you know, there must be a ton of chefs doing things, and although we have a lot of great restaurants here in town, I thought that there was a space for maybe one more person with a chefing background, you know. We're working with a buddy of mine, Adam, that has Columbia Basin beef, and we're using Holstein animals that are being raised right here in Sunnyside, and what we do is we take a certain amount of those animals and we feed them a little more generously to get what we call chef grazed beef. So it's a little higher quality. You see a lot more marbling, what you would see in like a prime quality or prime plus beef. And we have that all processed out at a USDA certified plant, so that I was able to work with all the butchers, get everything cut and processed exactly the way I want. So we're just now starting. This is the infancy. These are actually the first coming from the first 5 animals that we've worked with. So we're pretty happy so far, and we'll continue to keep them well fed and keep fattening them to where we get exactly how we want it. We do what we call Cigars Under the Stars. So every month, every first Thursday, we have a collection of people that just keeps growing, and the whole outside is turned into basically a big outdoor cigar and whiskey lounge.
At Vapiano, we invite you to slow down, enjoy the journey. Make a reservation today. Taste wine where it's created. Sample a variety of wines from Sauvignon Blanc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, and make it a day to remember. Vapiano Estates, Walla Walla.
Get $750 purchase allowance on most 2023 Cadillac CT4 and CT5 models. Visit your Yakima and Tri-Cities Cadillac dealer today.
Live with Kelly and Mark today at 9 on Cap KView.
% off Bed Bath & Beyond coupon in your drawer is only good for a few more days. Bed Bath & Beyond filed for bankruptcy Sunday, and the company says it will stop accepting coupons on Wednesday. Instead, Bed Bath & Beyond expects to offer deep discounts on its products as part of its going out of business sales. Profits for Bed Bath & Beyond took a hit after stores closed for months because of the pandemic. The company has been trying to cut costs by closing more than half of its stores since late last year.
Last 3 or 4 years. You had COVID and you had supply chain issues, the incredible growth of Amazon and online shopping, changes of immediacy of shopping, I think all of those factors, plus a somewhat behind the track e-commerce platform for Bed Bath, made this a somewhat foreseeable outcome.
Well, it's more expensive to buy a new or used car these days, and a new report says that price increase has contributed greatly to inflation over the past couple of years. This all began during the pandemic. Michael Havlin is an economist who wrote the report. His research found that during the height of the pandemic, the supply-demand imbalance for new vehicles meant dealerships could suddenly charge more money, and that helped drive up inflation. But economists are split on Havlin's findings. Some agree the car industry helped drive up costs that hurt the economy. Others say it is unfair to blame just one sector of the economy for the rise in inflation. The study is published in a U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics journal. Coming up, Eastern Oregon residents are reaching out to the state government after dealing with high levels of nitrates for years. And Jason Valentine returns with a look at your First Alert weather forecast. That's next.
The awesome Hiawatha Trail. Fly the Northwest, Tuesday night at 6.
Shelter. Out here, it's the most important thing. But the good thing is, my Ford F-150 provides enough power to keep working.
Get a great deal on an F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
From Cap Cave, Apple Valley Eats.
Well, I think what you'll find at Coyote Canyon, we have, not only some of the best and most consistent wines, and it's our goal to have just a really good time, and our staff wants to show all our customers a good time. So we also have a lot of different events, and so if you come in, our staff will definitely show you a good time while you taste some of the best wines, not only in Washington, but probably in the world.
So yeah, we're pretty unique in the fact that we grow over 26 varietals at our vineyard, and we make about 20 of them here at the winery. We love food and wine. With all the different wines that we have basically a pairing for kind of anything that you're going for. For me, probably my favorite pairing would be our Bozak Red Blend. Give me a nice cut of steak with that, grilled potatoes, grilled asparagus, and I'm good to go.
My wife has been, as you can see on all the walls, continues to paint a lot of pictures, and a few years ago we started doing an artist series. It's a beautiful picture that my wife painted of those horses on that slope of the Horse Heaven Hills.
What is a leader? Someone who has backbone, resilience, determination to put a stake in the ground and get their hands a little dirty. Arrow Construction Supply has been the Northwest's leading provider of asphalt, concrete, and erosion control industries. From homeowner do-it-yourself to large commercial projects, we have everything for sale or rent to get the job done. Your locally owned and operated Arrow Construction Supply, leading the way and hitting our mark for 30 years.
Pure Filtration Products is your Inland Northwest air quality specialist. We offer filtration products for all your commercial, industrial, and manufacturing needs. From cooling towers to industrial dust collection systems, commercial buildings, schools, hospitals, or manufacturing facilities, we have you covered. Call today and schedule your free facility site evaluation. We'll send a certified air filter specialist to your site to evaluate your filter requirements. Call or click today. Pure Filtration Products.
That sound. Wolves. Boy, they sound hungry.
Load up, wolves! Good thing this Ford Explorer has Sync 3 technology. Keeps them entertained on the way to dinner.
Get a great deal on an Explorer, only at your local Ford dealer.
Now, Cap Cave First Alert weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Monday morning, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and a nice morning so far. So we do have some quick AM showers to talk about. We do have a breezy morning between 10, 15 mile per hour for the most part, but those are going to slow down as the day goes on. But I was talking about it earlier. Hot temperatures are on the way, something to definitely look forward to. So let's take a look at our futurecast. And as we move along in our morning hours, we're going to see the biggest conglomeration right around 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, Pendleton areas, you should be left out of it in Ellensburg and Yakima. And then it's just a bit of residual showers going on. Again, Walla Walla, Tri-Cities. That'll move on by the time we get to our evening hours, but much nicer conditions overnight and into our Tuesday and our Wednesday. My goodness, we have a pretty darn nice week ahead, and yes, warmer temperatures are on the way, finally. Very warm this morning, much warmer than it was pretty much all of last week. We do expect to see these warm conditions continuing. Again, just last week we had those freeze warnings. Well, nothing like that. And as we move along in our week, even today we're below our average. Add it on Tuesday, tomorrow. Then we're going to warm up to those mid to lower 80s as we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We do expect quite a bit of a drop off. But this is that heat spike we've been waiting for, and it's been taking some time to get here. So warmer temperatures, yes, 80s. And our area does this. It goes from the 60s to the 80s. There's no 70s, so that happens quite often. So winds right now, we are seeing some push, and we do expect that to continue for the next couple of hours, but do get ready for slower winds by the time we get to our afternoon, and slower winds into Wednesday, and then just a little bit of windy conditions right around 10 miles per hour as we head into our weekend. So folks, we are looking at much nicer conditions. And again, last week we saw some wind spikes, but really this morning is the most wind we're going to be seeing pretty much for your work week into our next week. So our highs today, we are in those mid to lower 60s for Yakima, 56 for Ellensburg. Again, we're about 5 degrees off our average for this time of year. As we move into the Tri-Cities and the Mid-Columbia, mid to lower 60s, still staying pretty darn chilly. And in the Blue Mountain region, even 58 for Pendleton, 60 degrees for Walla Walla. So your temperatures this morning really aren't going to be increasing too much for our daytime highs. But look at these highs as we move along. Plenty of sunshine is expected. So today, 61, up to 70 tomorrow. Beautiful Tuesdays on the way. Upper 70s by the time we get to Wednesday into Friday. And yes, even 81 by Saturday. So my goodness, folks, we are looking at beautiful conditions. Overnight lows, again, don't forget, Yakima had a freeze warning last week for Tuesday into Thursday. We are looking at much warmer conditions overnight as well. Folks, a sparkler of a week is on the way. In the Tri-Cities area, up to the upper 70s by Wednesday and Thursday, and then mid to lower 80s with abundant sunshine for your weekend and your Friday. So folks, the warmer conditions we've been waiting for all spring are finally on the way, especially as we get to our weekend. Today, though, we're seeing some morning showers, some morning wind, and again, cooler than average temperatures, but that all switches on a dime as we move into the rest of our work week.
Eastern Oregon residents are asking the state to do more about high levels of nitrates found in public wells. Our Madeline Hagan tells us how residents are joining together to ensure they have access to a basic human necessity.
When Maria Colleen moved into this Boardman, Oregon home in 1987, she was given one warning.
All they told me was, you can't drink the water, but they didn't explain why. That's all they told us.
Up until now, Maria and her family used the water for things like cooking or brushing their teeth. It wasn't until early 2022 when they learned about testing well water for nitrates.
I was worried about my health, but more importantly, I was worried about the health of my grandkids because they live here with us and they're younger. So don't really know what that means for their health long term.
The EPA says water with nitrate levels over 10 milligrams per liter is unsafe. Maria's water has consistently tested 5 times over the limit.
And so we didn't know what that would mean for us.
Zaira Sanchez with Oregon Rural Action says she's heard many stories like Maria's.
I hope I live to see the day that this gets resolved.
That's the common sentiment she gets from people throughout the affected counties.
Fears that they have for their health, for their grandkids, the generations that come after them. What does that mean for the future of this community?
Zaira and Maria say the county and health district have done a lot in the last year to ensure residents have clean drinking water.
Declared an emergency, right? And we were able to start getting access to emergency drinking water, which is the delivery of water to people's homes if they were testing high. We saw rapid testing being done
But now they're calling upon Governor Tina Kotek to do more.
We need the governor to declare that this is a public health emergency. We need access to rapid testing. We also need to secure alternative drinking sources. So right now we have water distribution available to folks, but that's only through June.
Governor Kotek's office told us they're working with state agencies to deliver solutions like free testing, water delivery, and at-home filtration systems. Maria was a part of a group that went to the Capitol in Salem in mid-April to raise awareness. They even conducted a nitrate test on site to show the level of contamination. For now, Maria's family relies on their rented water dispenser and a reverse osmosis system provided by the county.
I've had to make a lot of changes. I have to go out of my way to go get water from the health department. The jugs that we get are pretty big, and me at my age, it's really difficult for me to be lugging those around. We also worry about constantly what that means for our health, so it does complicate things a lot more.
For KapKVU Local News, I'm Madeline Hagan.
And Colleen's family faces a challenge when it comes to testing. They share a well with neighbors, and the pump house isn't on their property. As far as state action, we know that the Oregon Health Authority is sending out bilingual mailers about free well testing. The OHA is also accepting testing voucher applications for the foreseeable future. They got rid of the May 15 deadline. This year, the Washington State Legislature approved a bill that would allow cannabis sales across state lines. Even though dozens of states now allow people to grow, buy, and sell pot, each state has its own regulations. And a grower in Oregon, for example, can't ship their product to a store in Washington, much less across the country to New York or Maine. The Associated Press reports the West Coast has great conditions for growers, but high taxes and a very competitive market means many are struggling to make ends meet. They're hoping that being able to ship products to other states would help. Whether or not it happens depends on the federal government. States are setting up plans right now so that if federal policies loosen, they're prepared to start interstate cannabis trade as soon as possible. Waste Management broke ground this week on a new landfill in Adams County. It will eventually provide services to Idaho and Montana as well as eastern Washington. Waste Management says it's heard concerns from the Washtuckna community, and it's working to make sure the new facility provides economic benefits without environmental disadvantages.
This facility is important because it means jobs, economic vitality, and environmental protection for Adams County.
Some farmers that have wells near here, they're concerned about leakage, possible leakage in the future, stuff like that, hitting the groundwater. I think that's eased a little bit, but there's still going to be people that are cautious.
This will be the first new landfill in Washington state in more than 30 years. Waste Management said it will start accepting municipal solid waste in 2024. When we come back, the government has released official statements on unidentified flying objects and the methods used to track them.
It's our 25th anniversary in May, but we just couldn't wait. So let the $225,000 Silver Jubilee celebration begin now at Legends Casino Hotel. Use your Legends Rewards Players Club card to earn entries for cash drawings on Thursdays and a chance at a new Mercedes C300 on April 27th. Use your card when playing your favorite slot machine for a chance to win a coveted silver ticket and a spot at the Jubilee Game Board on May 31st, where we'll give away over $200,000. Only at Legends Casino Hotel, within winning distance.
When it comes to supplying the farm, come to Northwest Farm Supply. Keep a flock healthy and happy with the largest selection of Purina around. Plus, all the equipment you need to keep the farm running right. And we have the best customer service. We really do. Northwest Farm Supply in Hermiston, Prosser, and Othello.
Welcome to the Village Bistro. We're happy you're here. I wanted to share with you some of the things we have on our menu. One of my favorite things is our lemon ricotta pancakes, topped with blueberries and powdered sugar and butter, and oh my, they are so delicious. You gotta try our 4-cheese mac and cheese, our burgers. Some say they're the best in town. We love to get to know each customer that comes in, and we want you to feel like family when you're with us.
We gave a real chef an expensive cocktail dress to wear to work to prove that Electrolux with Smart Boost technology offers the most effective stain removal. Because unlike other washers, only Smart Boost pre-mixes water and detergent for the best wash possible. There's clean, and then there's Electrolux Clean.
Pay no interest when paid in full in 12 months at Fred's Appliance.
When Fred's advertises it, we've got it. Get your new appliance today.
When you own a Ford, you get more than a vehicle. You get the benefit of having your vehicle picked up for service.
Here for the Explorer. There you go. All right, we'll get it right back to you.
This is U-Mode.
All the convenience of owning a Ford with a local partner. Corwin Ford Tri-Cities.
Ensuring your loved ones are taken care of is so important, but finding the time to help can be challenging. That's where Visiting Angels comes in. Our compassionate caregivers and Visiting Angels team can manage the day-to-day in-home assistance your loved ones need. We offer award-winning care on your terms, nationally known, locally owned. Call us today at 509-582-7800 for a free consultation, or visit us online at visitingangels.com/Kennewick.
Oh, hello. Hi. Did you know that every load of laundry could be worth as much as $300?
Really?
And your clothes just keep getting more damaged the more times you wash them. Downy protects fibers, doing more than detergent alone. See?
This one looks brand new. Saves me money. I'm starting to like Downy.
Downy saves loads.
Like compound interest, our experience grows on a daily basis.
All right, folks, let's get closer to home on this Monday morning. And we're seeing a little bit of wind this morning, but they'll be slowing down as we move along into our afternoon. We're right in those mid-50s to lower 60s for the Kittitas County area. As we move into the Yakima Valley, lower 60s, maybe an upper 50 in Natchez. A little bit more sunshine really than all of our areas. As we move into the mid-Columbia, we do expect some morning showers, a little bit more cloud coverage. Should see some sun breaks in our afternoon, mid to lower 60s. And in the Blue Mountain region, we're looking all over the place from 63 to down to 56, 54 in Heppner. My goodness. So a little bit of shower activity, a little bit of wind this morning for the Blues, mid-Columbia. Other than that, we're looking at an okay Monday ahead, but do get ready for those warmer temperatures on the way. All right, folks, I'm going to send it back to Jill.
Thank you, Jason. Well, the truth is out there, but it might not be the story you're hoping for. The U.S. military is actually tracking unidentified flying objects through the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. The office director told lawmakers in Congress this week, just because something in the sky is unidentified doesn't mean it's extraterrestrial. But when it comes to those flying objects, technically referred to as unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP, he says we can't be too careful.
UAP cannot remain unexamined or unaddressed. AARO has found no credible evidence thus far of extraterrestrial activity, off-world technology, or objects that defy the known laws of physics.
While it may not be as exciting as a visit from ET, the AARO is concerned about emerging technologies from foreign countries that could pose a threat. Well, let's take a live look outside. Jason will have a look at what to expect for the rest of your day coming up. Plus, a motorist near Othello was taken by surprise by a seemingly random attack that put a rock through their truck window. And the Washington legislative session wrapped up for the year last night, and now the state of Washington waits to find out which bills the governor will sign. Good Morning Northwest continues right now.
From KapKView Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jill Sperling. Let's send it over to Jason Valentine now for a first look at weather.
Thank you so much, and good Monday morning, everyone. And folks, we're looking at a pretty nice day today, though we have a little bit of shower activity and winds for some of our areas. Now, not for Yakima. You do have those winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour, but as we move along in our morning, we are going to be seeing nicer conditions. And again, we're going to be seeing highs in the lower 60s today for Yakima. In the Tri-Cities area, we're up to the mid 60s. We're still about 5 or so degrees off of our average for this time of year, but folks, things are going to be getting much, much nicer. And in Walla Walla, we do have off and on showers today, a little bit more cloud coverage as well, but